Hey, how's it going, you unwhelmers? Today we're playing some games with Mewtwo-Box, one of the few decks to actually receive an upgrade from the Hidden Fates set. Basically, this Charizard, Jesse and James, and Weezing are like the three playable cards out of this set. So definitely wanted to show off Mewtwo-Box again with the new upgrade of this Stage 2 Charizard-GX. And both attacks are actually pretty good in the deck. We got the Flamethrower that allows us to hit for 140, so we can knock out stuff like Giratina, promo pretty easily now. Before it was kind of a struggle to get the knockout on it, but now we can just use Flamethrower 140, knock it out. And then the big attack for this deck is the Flare Blitz GX, 4 energy for 300 damage. Same amount of damage you can get with Double Blaze, but doing it for 4 energy is a massive difference. It makes it way easier to go like knockout tag team, knockout tag team, like by turn 3. You can go turn 1, maybe get a Turbo Strike if we go second, into Flare Blitz, into Magcargo's Lava Flow for a knockout on a second tag team. And then the game's over. That's it. The game's done. So insane card in this deck. I've actually found it to be ridiculously good as far as just out-tempoing our opponent for knockouts or getting ahead in the tempo for knockouts. So yeah, this card is just so good. There's not that much to say about it. It's just ridiculously good in this deck. So I definitely want to showcase that to you guys today in today's video. This is pretty much Henry Brand's list from the Melbourne special event, which is really close to his list from Worlds. It's just cutting the Cobalion he had in here for the Charizard, because I feel like the Charizard, the 4 energy for the Flare Blitz, makes up for the tempo that you can potentially get out of the Cobalion. The Flare Blitz basically does the same thing in making sure you don't get to the point where you get too far behind where you need to use Cobalion. It keeps you in the game at all points, and you don't have to kind of make up for falling behind with the Cobalion's GX attack. You just go ahead and Flare Blitz them. So yeah, I mean, that's basically all I have to say about the change. Like I said, I played some games with Henry's Worlds list. I'm sure you guys have played with some Mewtwo-Box lists yourself, so there's not too much else to say on the list. Let's go ahead and get into some games and see if we can't pull off some Flare Blitz here in this first run. And we hit a mulligan. The mulligan's a little bit unfortunate. Usually when we go second, we look to go with like a turn 1 Turbo Strike, but it does kind of depend on what we draw into, what our opponent has, what our opponent's playing. If it's the mirror match, things can get really awkward really fast. But so I'm always hoping it's never the mirror match, because the mirror match is a super awkward matchup. It's just really awkward. I don't quite know how to play it perfectly as well on my side, so if we do hit a mirror match here, which I'm kind of scared we're about to, please don't be too mean to me in the comments. But there's a Jirachi, but I do know people have started to run Jirachi in the Mewtwo into the Mewtwo-BoX decks, which is interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's not terrible. I definitely don't hate it. Definitely not terrible. Not the biggest fan of it though, that's for sure. I think it's okay. I think the Jirachis in the Mewtwo-BoX are okay. They're okay. I'll say that. I think it's okay. I think being just like a little bit more of aggressive build is kind of the better way to go though. I will say that. Viridian Forest from our opponent. Jirachi starts. So far looking really good. If I had to guess, I would assume that they're playing a, what's it called deck though? A Malamar deck, if I had to guess. Viridian Forest plus Jirachi and a skateboard. Usually screams Malamar. There's the NK. All right, so we're looking for a turn 2 Espeon Deoxys-GX attack. That's our game plan. Get Espeon Deoxys, use its GX attack, and put a ton of damage in play on our opponent's side of the field. Definitely don't want to use our active Mew and Mewtwo. Want to use one from the bench. We also need to get Jirachi in play. We're still going to look to Turbo Strike turn 1 here. We could also use Espeon Deoxys' first attack to knock out the Jirachi if we get enough Psychic Pokemon. But I think the plan is going to be Turbo Strike, get Mew and, or not Mew and Mewtwo, Turbo Strike, get the Jirachi in play so we don't have weakness to Psychic and don't start getting one-shot by Giratina, and then kind of just go from there. Build up into the Espeon Deoxys GX attack at some point. We don't need to do it immediately, but turn 2 is definitely the most ideal time to do it. So yeah, that's going to be our game plan here. Looks like our opponent doesn't have that ridiculously good of a start. They got the Jirachi with the escape board, 2 NKs, but they definitely would have liked to have seen like another Jirachi to retreat into, or a third NK down, something like that. So not the most ideal start from our opponent, so we can definitely capitalize on this pretty easily. Second Welder in hand makes things a little bit awkward. We don't just want to lose a Welder for no reason, but we might end up losing a Welder for no reason. Gonna go with the Giant Hearth to replace the Viridian Forest. Move this fire out of the hand. Get too far outside of the deck. We'll take a look here. Turbo Strike is here. Jirachi is prized, so that is a big deal. Not being able to use Jirachi is going to be a little scary. It might definitely change how we play out this first couple turns. We're still going to go with the Welder to the active. See what we draw. There's a Mew and Mewtwo. We have the second Welder in hand, so we can already look to set up for the next turn. We can Turbo Strike this turn into look to go with the Espeon Deoxys next turn. We could grab Turbo Strike, Radar it away alongside the Custom Catcher. Hearth for sure next turn, get 2 more fire. Put those on there. That seems like the best play to me. Don't have the Jirachi, like I said. So I think that's going to be our game plan here. We're going to grab ourselves the Turbo Strike. Still get this early knockout while we can. I'll say goodbye to these two. I think I am going to grab, because depending on our top deck, I'll actually maybe want to get rid of a Dedenne off the Giant Hearth. So we're actually going to grab 2 Dedennes here. I'm going to throw this here. And then, yeah, go with that Turbo Strike for a nice cheap knockout here on this Jirachi. Not too scared of getting hit with a Giratina immediately. Yeah, not having access to the... Well, what's it called is also like kind of scary, not having access. There's another Welder. So we're going through all of our Welders really quickly here, which could definitely become a problem later on. But yeah, not too scared of getting knocked out here. We'll see. There's a power plant from our opponent. They are playing the power plant build of Malamar. They probably run 2, if I had to guess. I've been seeing 2 most of the time when they do have the power plant in there. So I'm going to guess 2, but maybe it is just the 1. We're definitely not scared of just 1 with our current hand. We got that extra Hearth in our hand. As well as some draw power with the Dene and Welder. So yeah, not scared of this power plant yet. Next power plant might become a little bit more scary. But the Marshadow is in the deck, so we do have an answer pretty soon to it. There is a Necrozma, so our opponent is not playing Giratina Malamar. They're playing Necrozma Malamar. Interesting. Definitely a little bit scarier, as it does one-shot us without any damage modifications. They don't need... what do they not need? They don't need the they don't need spell tag damage. They don't need distortion door damage already set up on the Mewtwo. They can just swing through with the special laser as long as they have that recycle energy that I'm sure they play and knock us out. They might play weakness guard energy. Probably not. Probably just recycle energies. They do need to find that. They have only 1 psychic in the discard pile, and we could actually look to GX attack next turn and knock out Malamar, Inkay, leaving him with just this Necrozma as a backup. And that's definitely going to be our game plan. That is our game plan. We're going to try and knock out everything. There is the Hypnosis coming down, though. This could be very annoying. In this case, we definitely need to find a switch card. Actually, we couldn't even pull it off. We had to need like double switch here. So we'd probably go switch into the other Mewtwo and Turbo Strike with that one if we could. There's the heads, though. We're awake. So we're definitely just going to go for our game plan of knocking this guy out. This will get us Espeon Deoxys. And the only other thing we need is Espeon Deoxys. So I think I want a Cherish Ball for Espeon Deoxys right now. Because that's the only Pokemon we need immediately. So may as well thin our deck out by 1 more card, because we do need another energy. Besides the energies we're getting into play with Welder. We need that Fire or one of these 2 Psychics. We have 3 energy left in deck. Definitely going to be cutting it close, but I think going for this play is definitely correct way to go about it. There's the energy, so we're in a great position now. Attach the Psychic to the active, and this is just how you want to play this matchup. I don't think I need to play anything else down this turn anymore, actually, and I think we can just go with the Cross Division to knock out both Inkays and the... Oh no, we can't knock out both Inkays and Malamar, can we? One too much damage, right? Inkay, 120. Yeah, a little bit too much damage. We can knock out Malamar. We could knock out the Necrozma and an Inkay, actually. Or we could knock out Inkay. Alright, let's just go for it. Let's go with that Cross Division. This Inkay needs to die for sure. It's his pivot. This guy has to die. We could knock out the Necrozma to prevent that, potentially. But there's just the concession from our opponent, so we'll take it. I think we would have been in a very good spot no matter what our opponent did on their turn. I think knocking out the Necrozma was maybe the best way to go about to make it so we just don't get attacked next turn. Either way, our opponent concedes, so we take an initial dub here over the Malamar deck. We would have been in a ridiculously good spot if we just didn't prize Jirachi. Jirachi's super good, super important in this matchup. So prizing Jirachi definitely stunk. But we were still able to build up into that turn 2 Espeon Deoxys GX attack, and I think we were going to have that one in just a turn or two after that. But our opponent goes ahead and hits it with the concede, so we take a first dub over that Malamar deck there. First here in this one, we opened up the Marshadow. Not always the ideal starter, but it's not the worst thing ever. We can definitely live with it. Got a Bills Analysis and an Acro Bike to give ourselves some gas for the turn to get something going. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. We don't know what our opponent's playing yet. It looks like it is Reshizard. What build of Reshizard really is the question then at this point. We're going to start with an Acro Bike here. I want to grab the Psychic Energy, I think. Yeah, we're going to grab the Psychic Energy here. I'll then treasure away the Solgaleo, grab ourselves the Mew and Mewtwo to attach the Psychic Energy to, and then we will go with that Dedenne change, and then kind of see what our opponent's playing. I don't know if I want Jirachi or not. I'm just going to go with we don't want Jirachi because they opened a Reshizard. They could still be playing Mirror Match, but they might be able to give it to us anyways. Yeah, got the Welder, perfect. Welder down to the Mew and Mewtwo. Some more cards, and good options for next turn. Pass over to our opponent, see what they got. Yeah, so we're sitting in a pretty good spot. If we get the Charizard next turn, we can actually just one-shot this with the Charizard, and then we'll have the Magcargo for the second tag team follow-up. It is Green's Reshizard, so this matchup is pretty good, especially with the addition of the new Charizard. So we're definitely going to try and fully showcase that guy here and see if we can get that Flare Blitz next turn. We can do it with a attach here into a Switch or attach here into Welder to the active retreat. We also have to find the Charizard as well. We don't have the Charizard yet. We have 4 Cherish Ball left and plenty of ways to potentially discard it. So Cherish Ball off the top here would be ideal, but there'll be other ways to do it as well. We don't have to get that off the top. It's not our only way to potentially pull it off. We'll see what our opponent here grabs off the greens. Probably going to set up for a turn 2 Flare Strike. Yeah, there's Flint and Welder. I guess I am a little scared of getting power planted here, but we do have the Marshadow ready to go. There's the attach to our opponent's active and pass. That's not good for our opponent. I am going to go with the attach to the Mewtwo, bench the Mewtwo, and then Dedenne change. Get rid of the custom catchers, unfortunately. But yeah, we're looking to try and even win the game this turn. It looks like that is not going to happen because we don't quite have everything we would possibly need in the hand. Can retreat next turn, Cherish Ball for the what's it called on that turn as well. Custom catchers eventually draw some cards, so I guess it is just going to be a pass over to our opponent here. I don't think there's anything else I'd want to do on this turn. Yeah, it's going to be the pass over to our opponent. All right, so didn't quite get everything we needed there to pull off the play, but our opponent can't respond too aggressively. They can't knock out our Mew and Mewtwo. They can knock out our Marshadow if they want to, which I assume they are going to do. There's the Flint getting rid of 2 fire, get themselves 4 fire out of the deck. So yeah, they have the Welder in hand as well. So Flare Strike, knock out our Marshadow is on the menu for right now. Marshadow is probably going to go bye-bye. Unfortunately, he's very good in this matchup to resetting hole in the late game to bump power plant that they will inevitably throw down. So losing this guy does kind of suck, especially if they have a power plant right here, right now. We can potentially draw out of that with the custom catchers and Pokégear, maybe finding us a Bills. So it's not the end of the world, but definitely annoying to deal with the power plants. There's the knockout. No power plant yet, so that's good for us. Go Mewtwo. See what we draw. A Fire Energy. That's kind of cool. I think I'm just going to start with... So we can do the Charizard attack for sure this turn. We just want to try and get as much energy in play as possible. Custom catchers could still come in clutch. So I kind of just want to... Let's Pokégear first. Okay, there's a Welder. That's cool to see. Go ahead and Welder to the benched Mew and Mewtwo. Draw some cards. There's a Stadium. Definitely want to hold on to that. I'm gonna go ahead and Cherish Ball. Get ourselves the big Zard. And I think I am gonna treasure him away instead of Radar because we want to keep the access to the Dedenne as high as much as possible in the deck. We just want as many ways to get the Dedenne as we possibly can. We're gonna attach to the bench here and then just go with that. I could bench this third Mew and Mewtwo and just have one spot open for Dedenne. That seems fine to me, actually. And then, yeah, we are going to use that new Charizard's Flare Blitz GX, 300 damage. And now we're set up to win next turn through the Lava Flow. This is the play that I was talking about in the intro that we can set up pretty consistently against the tag team decks. Turn 2 Flare Blitz either after a Turbo Strike or after we just chill for a turn like we did. Or we chilled for like 2 turns actually. Flare Blitz, knock out a tag team, and then follow up with the Lava Flow, knock out a tag team. And usually you take enough stuff out of play that they can't respond to your Mew and Mewtwo. So this guy's just ready to go with Lava Flow. And even if they did, we could still potentially set this guy up with to Lava Flow on our following turn. So there's like no way for our opponent to get out of this situation. We have this one pretty much locked up. The only thing I could see them doing would be going Reset Stamp as comboed with Power Plant, which is a shame as to why we lost the Marshadow, because we don't have an out to the Power Plant under the Reset Stamp. Consistent out. We could still draw Stadium plus Dedenne and we'd be fine. There they go, discarding a Power Plant though, so it feels like that's maybe not part of their strategy, or they might have another one in hand. Maybe it was between the Reset Stamp and the Power Plant. In that case, you definitely want the Reset Stamp. We'll see if they have a Power Plant to back this up. If they do, this is definitely the situation where we could get stuck and lose the game though. This is the oh, no, but it is just the Outrage. So we have this one locked up here. Just going to attach to our active and then Lava Flow, discard all 5. It can be any basic energy, 50 plus 50, 300 damage. And that's it. That's the combo, the Flare Blitz into the Lava Flow. And that's going to do it for this video on the upgrade to the Mew and Mewtwo deck. It's a short video. But yeah, I just kind of want to showcase the Charizard, which we did pretty well. Showcase the Espeon Deoxys, the first game against the Malamar. Flare Blitz in the second game against the Green's Reshizard. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a like. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.